What is going on, YouTube? We are back with another video. In today's video, what I want to talk to you guys about is why it's so important that you network and you make connections, because you truly never know the experience you have in somebody's life and how that might impact you. I'm more than blessed, and I figured that I would just hop on here and talk about this because I worked with several clients when I worked as an in-person trainer over in Boston. And for those of you guys that don't know, I worked at Equinox, and it was a great time while I was there, but I transitioned into an online coach. And while I was there, I worked with several clients, and all the clients I worked with had something near and dear to me, right? Meaning, yes, I was providing them a service, but I genuinely cared about them as a person. And there were some of them that wanted to keep a connection after I left, and so they stayed in touch. They reached out to me, and one in particular, there's all of them I have a good relationship with, the ones I stayed in contact with, but there's one in particular that I just love having conversations with. And it's the type of people that this type of person in particular, he's just such an outgoing person, and he loves talking about the possibilities in life, right? And he's a few years younger than me, right? And we were on the call, and I was just asking him about, like, hey, how are things going, man? Like, how's fitness progress going? How's work? And he's internshipping, whatever you want to call it, over in London, right? And so we're talking to him, like, dude, like, what's new with you? And he's telling me he's thinking about starting a business. And it was so cool because I'd never been in that perspective or that position before to be able to say something like this. But the fact that I'm 5 years older than him, and he's been working for a while to get to where it is he wants to be, I was like, dude, like, just go in on your dreams, because like literally, like, I'm in a position right now where like I'm building the business of my dreams, and I built the business I want to build. And had I started when I was your age, I would have been light years ahead. And also, like, like most people that when I was younger, they would tell me, like, find your passion, find what it is you want to do. And I literally said this on the phone to him, like, I was like, dude, like, people don't ever tell you though, like to do the things that you enjoy and to actually try things, right? Like, people tell you, like, yeah, go all in on your dreams, and like you hear that and you're like, okay, right, like, I'm going to try different things, but they don't ever say, like, yo, it actually is possible to do these things, like, start doing them. And so I was on the phone with them. I was like, dude, like, I can tell you have a bright future. Like, the kid is an actual genius, and especially for his age. I'm like, dude, I don't even know, like, what I was doing when I was your age. I thought I was being productive, but I really wasn't. There were so many things that I could have been doing, and maybe it's just awareness, right? But I was telling him, I was like, dude, like, not just like, should you think about doing these things, you should actually try doing the things, because like when I was your age, nobody told me to try these things. They just said, like, oh, dream big, right? And like, take risks. But they don't ever tell you how to do it. And I'm like, dude, like, literally, like, do X, Y, and Z if you care about it, right? And he's like, oh yeah, well, I don't know if it's possible. I'm like, dude, like, in 5 years from now, like, you'll be in a spot where you will not care what the heck happened. Like, but if you take a chance, you take a risk, you actually take action towards these things, and your life could be like the life you want. And it's so cool because I've never been in a position where I was able to, in a sense, mentee the person. I don't even know if that's what it was, but I was generally just giving my experience, having more years of life than him, right? And I was telling him, like, dude, when I was in your shoes, when I was your age, I wish I had somebody telling me these things. And it wasn't like me telling him what to do. In a sense, it was more so like, you'll try things, right? Like, don't regret things, right? Like, live your life. And like, don't worry about like what if stuff goes wrong, right? Like, I thought like that and it never got me anywhere. Like, actually start taking action. So I was telling him a story about how somebody older than me, when I was his age, and told me, like, oh, like, he basically gave me some conclusion, right? I went to a brick and mortar supplement shop, and I said, oh, that's so cool, like, I want to do something similar, like, this part of my dream one day is have my own gym, my own supplement shop, all this sort of stuff, right? And that guy asked me a question. He said, like, well, cool, man, like, when are you planning on doing that? And I remember thinking, like, what the heck, like, brain unlock, like, I'm never gonna do it if I don't start, right? And so like, that thought always comes back to me, always makes me think. If you're watching this, Paul, you just like appreciate you, right? And anyways, so I basically was telling the story. I'm like, dude, like, the worst case scenario is that like it fails and you're in the same spot, right? But like, try things, and like, people don't know how much knowledge you have until you like help them and like literally like put yourself out there, right? And this kid has so much knowledge, he has so many skills, and he's like, oh yeah, but I'm young and like, dude, like, you are like actually way smarter than I was at my age, and like, you are actually able to apply yourself. You just need to take action. And I was basically saying, like, dude, like, you're gonna be successful regardless of what you do, but don't limit yourself, don't think in a box, and just know that like even 5 years down the line, like, you're gonna be in a position where like you're glad you took these chances, you took these risks. And so it's so cool being able to give my life experience, and not to say it was right or wrong, maybe it's not the right advice, but I was just saying, like, dude, like, don't be afraid to try things, and also like, don't be afraid to like actually put things into action, because I was never told that, or at least I don't think so. I just remember being told, like, be realistic, like, find a regular job, like, like, oh, if you're gonna start a business, you gotta make sure you get X, Y, and Z. Like, when I was a kid and I was thinking about starting a business and I talked about it, people would say, well, you gotta make sure you get an LLC then if you're gonna do that, or oh, you gotta make sure you get employees. But they never say, like, like, cool, man, like, how are you gonna make it work, or like, what's your like dream, what's your goal? Like, it's always negative things, at least for the most part, right? And with the exception of that guy, Paul, from the brick and mortar shop, nobody really had ever told me, like, yo, dude, like, you can actually do it if you wanted to, but like, start now. So I'm thinking back like 5 years previous version of myself. I'm like, dude, like, start taking action on these things, because like, you are such like a passionate person, I can tell, and you truly don't know what happens until you try these things. And he's like, yeah, but maybe I'll just get like a regular job. And like, I'm not gonna say do this or do that, but just be open to the possibility that things could happen the way you want them, and you could have the opportunity to like, like, literally do whatever you want with your life. And I didn't have an older brother, I didn't have that in my life telling me these things. I had people telling me, be realistic, get a regular job, like limiting your mindset. And I loved the fact that I was able to just say, like, yo, like, you have like a lot of intelligence, you have a lot of knowledge, like, you could literally do whatever you want with your life. And I don't know what people around him were telling him. And he's a very insightful, very knowledgeable kid, especially for his age, a younger kid. Like, but I was just giving him my own feedback. I'm like, dude, like, you actually can set your mind to doing things, and you actually could change your life. But it's so much better that you try these things now and you keep trying things than to look back and be like, like, where I'm at now is like, had I started where I'm at with my business 5 years ago, I would have been further ahead, not just like financially, but like, I would have been able to actually live my dream, which is like the thing that I love the most. Like, I'm passionate about helping people with their fitness and entrepreneurship, right? Like, starting my own business is the avenue I'm going to help people with their fitness, and it's just such an awesome feeling. And when I was, about to get on the phone with him, I was like stressed out with all the business stuff going on, and it was just so cool hearing from like such a younger individual that doesn't have all these stressors going on. He doesn't have all the like, oh, I have all this like constant these things I need to get done. And like, today I had a day where I'm like, bro, I have so much to do. I have like X, Y, and Z, and it's like, I feel like I can never get caught up sometimes. And I just think back and I'm like, yo, that's so crazy thinking back. But like, I used to be that person, and I was thinking like, oh, I don't know what to do. It's like, just try stuff, bro. You never know what happens with your life. Like, you never know if that goes well. And even if it doesn't go well, at least you have the story to say like, yeah, I attempted this business and it failed, but like, it was so cool like trying it. Because as you get older, and it seems cliche, but as you get older, you lose the opportunity to do these things. Like, you get married, you have kids, you have a family, you go to school, and like, for me personally, bro, I went to school and it wasn't for me, right? And it's like, okay, well, now I gotta figure out a career. I'm already in college, and what I went to school for, I'm not using. Like, I use some of the skills, right? But the degree itself, I'm not using it. You don't need a degree to start a business. And so now it's like scattering over. It's like, I gotta figure something else to do with my life. And I'm like, dude, now is the time where like you have the opportunity to think through these things, like enjoy yourself, go out, do whatever you want to do, like obviously like have a nice life, enjoy your time. And he's a good kid, right? But it's like you're never going to have the time and the freedom and the mental freedom as you do right now, right? Like the stuff that I'm working on is awesome, right? But it's like I also still have responsibilities, priorities, and I only have so much time in the day. And say, okay, I wish I had started this 5 years ago. Not to think in the past, because but to be like, okay, had I started these things 5 years sooner, right? Like I would have been able to have my dream that I have right now, and I'd be in a different position, right? And no need to thinking that way, but it's just cool when you have somebody that uplifts you and says like, bro, go for it. When I was younger, I never had people in my life that said like, that were like some business owner or whatever and said like, yeah, do this, bro. Like I can see it panning out for you. It was always negative. And so like being able to be that person for him was cool. I don't know if he wants to then push anything down his throat. I'm just saying like, bro, just try stuff. Like you're not going to regret it. And I told him from my perspective, I'm like, bro, I'm 5 years older than you, 6 years older than you, whatever. Like, you know, people weren't telling me this stuff, right? They were telling me to be realistic, get a regular job. And I'm telling you like, bro, do whatever it is you want with your life, because even in 5, 6 years, you're studying in a spot where you'll figure it out, right? And everybody says like, you know, oh, you'll figure it out as time comes, but truly like you will figure it out. But now is the time when you are most creative, when you're at the younger age, when you are, with less responsibilities. Like that is the time where you can actually, like attack your goals and like do the things you want to do with your life. So, like figure it out. Like don't try to fit in. Don't try. And he has plenty of friends. He's like a super social dude, but it's like don't worry about all that stuff. Like do what it is you want to do, because one day you're gonna be glad you did. And it's crazy because the past couple days I've been thinking like, why did I start doing this? And I had these dreams of building a business. I had these dreams of doing something with my fitness business, but I literally was not taking action. Like yeah, I was still working. I was creating content. I was building certification. Maybe I was building up the community around me, and I was learning what I wanted to do. But I wasn't actually applying those things. And I was watching YouTube videos on like how to do these things, but I wasn't putting it into action for the longest time. And I'm not gonna say he's doing that, right? But it's like it's not that hard to live your dreams out. You just have to take action in a specific way, and you can achieve anything you want to do. And so it was cool giving him my insights from my previous version of what my thoughts were. And he was like, hey, that's cool. I never thought about it that way. And it was just interesting having that conversation with somebody where it's like, like the only limits we truly have on ourselves are from our own mind. And sometimes people might tell you things, right? But like if you continue to dream big, you continue to, work hard, you continue to, become the person that you want to be, like you truly can do anything. And most people don't ever go all in on themselves when they're younger, and they grow old and then they realize, I didn't do those things, so I'm just going to use this excuse and say like it didn't happen the way I wanted to. It's just not possible. Or maybe they actually don't believe it. But most people, they never even give it a chance. They never even accept the fact that like, okay, this actually might fail entirely and completely. So because I don't take the risk. Most people don't do that, and they live their whole life and they get to a point where they're like, that person that did X, Y, and Z, built this business, like, travel the world, did his career, helped people, made a change in the world, like he's just lucky, or like it just happened that way. Like no, bro, like that person willed it into existence. And being able to give my opinion, not necessarily my advice, right? Because I was like, bro, do what you want, but like my opinion to somebody that's in previous shoes that I wanted to be in. It's just like, yo, dude, like you are so much more mature at your age than a lot of people are, and it's cool being able to talk to people like that. That like younger brain, that like they have less mental barriers, less restrictions, they think more things are possible, right? And they are working on things, but also like they are kind of in a sense being told by the rest of the world, like be realistic. And it's like cool, and you can be the person, and how I was in that scenario on the call of like, bro, like yeah, be realistic, but like literally it doesn't matter, bro. You're gonna figure it out either way. So like try a bunch of stuff, and it was just cool having that conversation. So that's something I want to share on here, because truly anybody watching this video, you can do anything you set your mind to. If you want to start a business, if you want to get into shape, if you want to live your dreams out, whatever it is, bro, you can do that thing. You might as well try, because the best thing about trying something and failing is like it doesn't work out. It seems so cliche, but literally you're never gonna know what works and what doesn't until you just throw stuff at the wall and it sticks, right? And so I feel that to say, like if you guys have goals, if you guys have dreams, if you guys want to accomplish something, do not be the person I was 5, 10 years ago. I was thinking about doing things, I was taking some action, but like just start taking action. Stop listening to the naysayers, stop listening to the people that say it's not possible, and just do it, bro, and outprove them, and watch what happens, and watch as you become more fulfilled in the process, and then you can put yourself in a position to help other people become more fulfilled. And it's so awesome being able to live out your dreams and give advice and give insights into people that otherwise maybe wouldn't have gone it. Like when I was again, like besides that one guy, right, like I mentioned, I didn't have people like pushing me, like, and even that guy, he gave me his opinion, but he didn't say like, oh, keep going, bro, do it. He's just like, cool, man, like, oh, when are you gonna do it, sort of thing, like, when are you gonna start that business? And I went into the thought pattern of like, okay, well, I'm gonna do it now, right? Like I can't believe I didn't have that thought pattern occur to me. So just want to hop here and share that, like, you truly don't ever experience something until you look back in the past and you realize like, wow, I cannot believe, that happened. And you don't know what it feels like to have something until you truly have it. And things are always fleeting, right? But the things we're chasing after now, even when we have them, we're focusing on the next thing. And so it's cool knowing that, the things that I regret not doing with my life sooner, I'm not gonna look at them in a negative light, but I'm gonna use it in a positive way to help somebody else that's in a position like go and attack their goals, so that they don't have to run into the same issues. And so I wanted to chime quickly and chirp on here on that topic. And just know that you truly have what it takes to take your life to the next level. And most people are gonna tell you don't do these things. Most people are gonna tell you be realistic, get a job, and settle down and do the normal things of normal society. But they're not gonna tell you to think out of the box, to be optimistic, to be creative, to have ideas that the normal people don't. People aren't gonna tell you that stuff. They're gonna tell you go to school, get a job. This is not a diss or anything. Like if you go to college, if you want to do whatever, by all means, be my guest. But just, it's been a long day. But just know that like, you literally could change the whole course of your life if you decided to look at things from a different perspective. If you decide to look at things from a perspective of, imagine if I did this thing. But most people just stop there. They have that thought and they move on and carry on with their everyday life. But some people, they have that thought and they're like, wow, and this realization occurs, and then they take action, and then they continue having these realizations and thoughts, and eventually they're living the life that they want. And I learned something a few months ago, or maybe a few weeks ago, that I didn't even know was true. And they say up until a certain age, your brain isn't even fully aware and isn't even fully developed. I knew that, but like you can't even fully become aware of things. And it's so crazy. Like I'm so much more aware now of the things that I had been doing, the things that I am doing, like the possibilities. Where in the past, it's just like there's like thoughts coming in and out of your brain, and your brain's not actually like absorbing and bringing them down and becoming aware. So become aware of the thoughts you have, and understand that if you have a thought and you have an idea, you have a belief, that's there for a reason, brother. You're not just having these random thoughts pop in your head for no reason. It's sent to you for some reason, and so it's your job to break it down. And if it intrigues you, if it excites you in any way, then give it more time, consider it, think it through, and try things. Because the worst thing that happens if you try things and they don't work out is you are at least able to say, I feel fulfilled because I tried, I attempted the things that I thought I wanted to do, and if you didn't fully want to do them, cool, you learn. But try the things that you want to do with your life, and you'll be surprised at like what could actually be the outcome. Hope that helps somebody out there. Hope that motivates somebody. I truly am not, the type of person that cares about what other people have to say about me. And I used to, as a kid, be this person that was insecure and lacking self-confidence and fitness, allowed me to gain a lot of confidence back. But I think that having the ability now to talk on these subjects that otherwise I wouldn't have talked on because I cared about what other people thought about me is such a freeing feeling, knowing that like I genuinely know that there are people out there, whether it's a younger individual, whether it's an older person, I don't care how old you are, but you might have not ever had this thought or this awareness around like doing the things you want to do with your life. And I think I think I truly love to be the type of person that pushes people to become the best version of themselves, because I didn't have that when I was growing up, but I wanted that. And I also, not just that I want that, I really just wanted to be the best version of myself. I didn't know how to do it. And so now the fact that I'm able to help people with their life is a good feeling. And I'm a coach, right? So I work with people and I help them get in shape, build muscle. But most importantly, think about things differently so they can sustain these results over the long term and create the impact on the world they want, right? And if you can do those sorts of things, then your life opens up. And you truly never know what can happen. So I hope that inspires somebody to just take action, bro, because you're gonna look back one day and be upset and frustrated that you didn't do the things you wanted to do. And guess who's gonna be upset about that? You. You, bro. And also the rest of the world is not benefiting from what you otherwise could have put out there and given to the world. So take action, bro, because you truly never know what will happen until it happens. So just take action, bro, because it truly is possible, right? It truly is possible, but most people are just going to think through that, let it pass, and not actually absorb it. But you can make a change in the world. Like, you could be the individual you want to be. You could do the things you want to do. So this video comes across you and you're signing for your page or whatever explore page, and you're subscribed. I appreciate the sub and whatever. But like, if you see this video and you're like, is this person talking to me? You're like, yes, bro, I'm talking to you, because you are the type of person that could do these things. But most people are gonna click off this video and they're gonna forget about it. But someone out there is gonna watch this video and say, my life is actually worth changing and it is possible that I make these adjustments, and their whole entire life opens up doors that they never otherwise thought possible. So maybe there's a small chance that never happens and never affects anybody. And if that's the case, cool. If this video gets 0 views, I'm completely happy with it. I'm completely okay with that. But if there's a 1% chance that somebody is in that position I was in, where I'm like, I don't know if I can do these things, and I come across this video and it makes them, propel into, a sequence of events that allows them to achieve the results they want, then like, that's such a great feeling to me. Because I think that the best feeling in the world is giving something to somebody that you didn't have at one point in your life, and knowing how much you wanted that thing, or you needed that thing, even if you weren't aware of it. It's such a good feeling when you're able to help other people with things that you've overcome yourself. And I help clients build muscle, because for the longest time, I struggled to gain muscle. And when I figured out how to do it, it was such a good feeling. So I hope that inspires some of you guys. If you are somebody that wants help with your fitness, nutrition goals, and just your overall mindset, you can click the link below and schedule a free strategy call. We'll walk through like where are you at currently on your fitness journey, what are your goals looking like, and like what are you, feeling that's holding you back. If I feel like I can help, great. I'll walk you through my process from A to Z as to how I help my clients get results, and we can go from there. And if you want to book in a call, I normally don't say this on my calls, but if you want to book in a call and you don't have, access to resources and you don't know if you can work with me, I'd be happy to still hook you up and help you out, because when I was a kid, right, when I was younger, like I didn't have, the guidance I need. And so truly, aside from like the whole, like, if you want to invest into my program, great, you can, you don't have to. But if you're the type of person that just like wants some feedback as to like, what my process looks like, I'm happy to walk you through it. And so genuinely, whoever watches this video, I hope this video changed your life. And if it didn't, cool. But if it did, I'm glad. And that's all I'm really trying to do, is just help other people. If you are somebody that wants to hear about like, my fitness process and how I help my clients, you can click the link below